Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Melting Pot. This is Osas, and I'll be starting your host today. How are you, dear viewers? I would like to find out how has your week been. I want to believe everything has been good because my week has been very, very eventful. Last week was awesome. We are in the spring preparing for the summer, so it's a very, very nice time. It's a wonderful time. It's a time I know every one of us have been looking forward to. Personally, I'm looking forward to this season and I'm glad it's finally here. It's still slightly cold, giving you air conditioned season, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Not too hot, not too cold. That is the season we're actually looking forward to. And most importantly, this is a good time to start planting. If you have not started planting or putting something together for your garden, you might start thinking of putting some vegetables in the ground, not in the ground outside, but maybe like planting something inside in-house door to later put in the ground outside. I have done mine and I hope you'll do yours. I'd like you to share ideas, share your opinions, share views about what you're planting, and that would be awesome. I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear your ideas. So, once again, welcome to the Melting Pot. My name is Osas. I'll be your host for the show today. I'll carry on the show while I wait for my sisters who will be joining me as the show goes on. Yeah, so as we wait for the summer, there are lots of events that we are looking forward to. There are lots of activities that are coming up. Listen and stay tuned to the show so that you continue to hear information about the show and about the events that are lined up, especially if you're in Saskatoon. We have lots of events planned out. Don't go away. We are going to go on a very short break, and after this break, we are going to connect to the other news. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is the Melting Pot. On the other news from Canada. Students set up indefinite pro-Palestinian encampment at McGill University in Ontario. In an act of solidarity with the Palestinians, in an unconfirmed claim, they say that McGill University has invested in about 50 companies that have been affiliated to Israel, and therefore they are funding the war indirectly. So there has been a pro-Palestinian encampment and a kind of peaceful test happening at this university because it's been well claimed that there is high investment in Israel by this university, investment in different companies that are affiliated. And this has made students to protest because they feel that they are sponsoring indirectly genocide. And this has been a problem. Though the soldiers are there, RCMP, I mean, the police, not the soldiers, sorry, the police are all there trying to make sure that this protest is peaceful. Our heart goes out to what's going on in Palestine because we know that what's going on in Palestine, the war between Israel and Palestine has many lives have been lost. It's not something anybody wishes, it's not something anybody planned. A lot of children, a lot of women, innocent civilians have lost their lives during this war. Personally, my heartfelt wish is that this war comes to an end. I mean, it's long, irrespective of who is right. It doesn't matter who has right to what at this point. I feel it is time this war comes to an end. Too many lives have been lost. I wish and I look forward to a peaceful resolution of this problem. And well, our heart goes out with all those that have lost their loved ones. And we hope that everything resolves peacefully. Also, on the other news, Ontario. Also, another news about Ontario has tightened rules on cell phone use and also bans vaping in schools due to the alarming rise of vapes of cell phone that has caused distractions in the classroom. The Minister of Education, Stephen Lees, the Ontario Minister of Education, has said that during a press conference that this has been agreeable with many parents and even the teachers that are sharing the same concern with him that cell phone use has been distracting for most of the students. So there's going to be a new rule that is going to come out and come into effect. This will be for kindergarten to grade 6. There won't be any cell phone use. Then for grade 7 to 12, they will only have cell phone access only with permission during classroom time. For me personally, I feel this is a welcome development because our children, our Gen Zs, they need to really tone down on this addiction. I think there's a growing addiction among children with cell phone use. And not even talk about the vaping problem. The vaping problem is also one problem. Hello, Izo. Welcome. I'm glad you are here. Okay, I think your volume, we're going to hear you. We can't hear you right now. Okay. All right. So, well, we'll go on a short break, and very soon we are going to connect to one of our love coach, IB's love coach. She's going to come up to take us on something romantic, something about relationships, something about marriage. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello there, and thank you all so much for joining me again on the Ibis Love Corner. How are we doing? I love to ask this question because I understand that for any marriage, for any relationship to thrive, we have to be intentional about the things we do for each other, with each other, and around each other. My name is Coach Ibis, enriching marriages and strengthening relationships around the world. I would love to talk about your mental health and your relationship today. May 1st to May 31st of every year has been declared as the Mental Health Awareness Month. So, you see, we need to talk about our mental health. Research shows that a high quality marital life leads to lower blood pressure, less stress, less depression, and a higher satisfaction in life. Yes. Studies has also shown that people who are in a high quality relationship, a thriving relationship, they are more productive at work. Yes. You see, that is why there is a need for us to pay attention and be intentional about the things that we do for each other if we really, really, really love each other. In the African community, we don't talk much about mental health because, of course, it's been associated with spiritual problem. And some people are so scared of the stereotype that they are going to get from people. Sometimes those irrational behavior that you get from your spouse might not be as a result of, oh, she's cheating on me, oh, is cheating on me, oh, he doesn't love me again, oh, she doesn't love me again. Sometimes it could be a cry for help. It is very important that we pay attention to each other. Your spouse that is more understanding, more loving, gentle, caring, kind, suddenly becomes a stranger. The first thing shouldn't be, oh, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's having an affair, maybe she's having an affair. Sometimes let's pay attention to our health too, to their health. It's part of loving them. And if you discover that this is not normal, you've not seen anything secretive, You need to ask questions. You need to help them, especially in this African community. It is not always spiritual problem. It is not always cheating problem. Sometimes it could just be that hormone, you know, those it could be hormone that are triggered by stress and they're becoming uh, depressed, they are struggling mentally, they can't reason very well, they become so withdrawn from you, maybe from your children. Then you need to start asking questions. You need to help them. You need to start asking questions. You need to help them. It is not always about you. It is not always about the children. It is not always about the loss of interest. There might be loss of interest, but maybe not intentionally. Maybe because they are struggling with their mental health. And sometimes the struggles that this world brings into our life, we want to study, we want to graduate, we want to get better, we want to get better job, finances, and all of those things could affect our mental health. And sometimes the medications that we take would also affect our mental health. It is not always about cheating. It is not always about you. It could be about them. Look out for your spouse. Look out for your spouse. Look out for your children. The Mental Health Awareness Month, check up on them. What are they doing that usually they would never do? Ask questions. Help them. Get help. And that's all I have to say today. I want to keep it real short. I'm Coach Ibis. Log out to my page and follow me in Ibis Love Heaven. One word. Thank you. And remember that I love you and I would always, always love you. Bye for now.
Hi, Ibis. Thank you, Ibis. We love you too. Thanks for joining us. 1st to 31st has been declared Mental Health Month. Welcome back to our show, viewers. This is the Melting Pot. And here I have with me my sister Izor. Izor, how are you, Izor? Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good too.
What should I react to?
Okay, yeah, you can talk about the other news just briefly, then we'll go on to Ibis.
Yeah, so for the Palestinian students that are picketing and all the rest, I kind of see it from a comical corner. So this war that has been in the Middle East is as a result of two brothers fighting for so many years. Um, and if you trace the genealogy, they all come from one patriarch, but for reasons I cannot explain, they can't seem to come to the middle and sort whatever differences they have. So I'm with you as you were talking about prayers are up that somehow, all this unrest in the Middle East will cease someday. So I'm with you on that. As for the kids and the banning of, first of all, I don't like vaping at all. But the cell phone use, well, that would be good if they can be strict about it, because what we see now is with the Gen Zs. Oh my gosh. I So this is a funny story. I went somewhere with my daughter to visit a friend, and myself and my friend, we were talking face to face, and she's about the same age as my friend. So they went to their
Mhm.
room, and all I thought was they were talking and everything. And then after a while, I went to check on them. They were both on their phones. They were talking to themselves through their phones. So they were playing
Mm.
some game and they had taken up Avatar, and they are talking to themselves through this
Chatting.
means. And I'm like, how weird is that? The person is sitting beside you. Talk to
Mm.
the person face to face. What is this interface? And they were like, oh mommy, you are disturbing us. We're having fun. So the thing is, they have they were born into this internet age, tech age.
System.
So the
Mhm.
way they see things is totally different from how we see things. So I wish them good luck if they are able to reduce it. But I think we, the parents, we have
Yeah,
to do a
well,
whole lot more.
well, from the news from Ontario, I think this law has been on from like 2019, but there was no
Hmm.
strong implementation. So I think this
Right.
time around, from the news, they want to really like push that implementation, want to enforce it and make sure that it works out. Well, I don't even subscribe to vaping, and I'm totally feel because even the government also says it harms, it's dangerous for the health, it harms
Hmm.
your body, it has adverse effects on our health system. So it's not something
Hmm.
we should encourage. But even for the cell phone, personally, I have stopped my kids from using cell phone, right? They all
Hmm.
had cell phones, my three kids, high school, university, undergrad, and elementary. But just currently, I had realized that the addiction and the closeness, the
Yeah, it's very addictive.
fixation on cell phone,
Oh yeah.
it's so serious, and one has to really monitor a lot of things, what they do with it. And recently I have like, okay, we have days for no devices, whether cell phone,
Hmm.
iPad, laptops, even television. Like, where are the good
Hmm.
old days? It's getting close to summer. Go out and
Oh
play,
my
play
dear,
ball,
tell
play
me about
soccer,
it.
basketball,
Tell me
draw,
about
do
it.
something. I know it's a lot of work, and I hope that this idea also comes to Saskatoon. I know some of our schools are
Yeah, I
actually
hope so.
strict with that too, but
No, but do they
mm.
allow
Okay,
children
moving on.
carry? Do they allow people carry
Cell
tablets
phones
and
to
stuff to
school.
school in Saskatoon?
Maybe
I don't
not
think so.
tablets. Then yeah, but they
Okay,
take cell phones to school. Yeah,
right.
even though they try
Okay,
to, they still regulate it though. Yeah, because I know my kids are not really allowed to bring it out during classes.
right.
And the
Okay.
access I give them is just so that when I go pick them from school, we can easily call them, okay, hello, we are
Okay.
outside, where are you at
Hmm.
this time? Yeah, so that's just all they can call in case of anything. But man, these are all excuses. Well, the school has a
Hmm.
telephone. Children can call from the principal's office or something. So I think that
Hmm.
works too.
Okay.
So, okay. On the other news, there's some other news I would like us to talk about, because there's this interesting scenario that has been happening back home in Nigeria about a restaurant or a supermarket, actually, back in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. And this supermarket was is on along the road to the airport, and it's owned by a Chinese person, a Chinese businessman. But the funny thing of that stirred people's interest and surprise was that this supermarket only is only open to the Chinese people. So if you are not Chinese, even though this supermarket is located in Nigeria, in Africa, but if Nigerians are not allowed to shop in this supermarket, they are prohibited from shopping in the supermarket, and then they only accept Chinese currency, yen. So this really was raised a lot of people raised a lot of eyebrow, like, why in our own country there's discrimination? I mean, another a foreigner in our country discriminating against us. So it has really raised a lot of uproar, and well, a good thing the government has come into the matter, and they are like almost clamming down on them for that kind of rule. So I mean, I don't know if you've heard that news. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw it. Again, I didn't see it through a recognized news outlet. I saw it on one of the blogs and some other people that do Facebook videos. So I don't
Okay.
know how authentic the information is, but I watched a bit of it where there's this guy that is making the rave now, a very dark black man, something like
Dark
that,
man.
where he was responding to it and saying that that's not our problem, that they have a that is supposed to be for their expatriates, and is for their people, that's the Chinese people that are resident in Nigeria, to be able to get their food items and go and get what they need. Now, in as much as I understand his own angle, we're in Canada here. If I use that example, we're in Canada and there are African shops, Nigerian shops here in Canada. It didn't stop the white man from entering the shop. They didn't stop the white man from entering the shop. They didn't say only Nigerians can enter the shop. They also do not collect naira in that shop. So it doesn't make sense. You are in a country, the fact that you're doing your business in that country, if it was not supposed to be for everybody, it should be inside the Chinese embassy. That way, you
Mhm.
know that is specifically for Chinese. That is outside the embassy means it's open to the public. That's my view. So that if they, I don't know if the Nigerian government has done anything about it, but I think they should do something about it.
Oh, sure.
That's my
The
that.
National Consumer Protection Body thing, they went there to it was actually on all stations, all news outlets. So the National Protection, Consumer Protection Body have been there. They almost sealed up the place. They initially sealed up the place because we heard that the one of the place was nowhere to be found and everything. But the staff there corroborated what people have been saying that only Chinese
Mhm.
nationals can shop there. So, and this because of that, they got into it and they had to, like, first of all seal up the place. But I heard now they've opened it up, but they're going to sanction them with a fine running into millions, and also give them that they have to, because I was watching the news. It was on channels, it was on different news stations. I mean,
Okay.
reputable
Okay.
news
I didn't
media
know that it
stations
was
back in
in.
Nigeria.
Yeah,
And
I
they
didn't know
said
it was
we're going to
in
like
certified.
sanction them on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah,
it brings to question the sovereignty of our country is is being attacked. That's how I see it. The sovereignty of our country is being attacked. So what will give another country the effrontery to come into another country? I don't want to be calling names.
yeah,
Set up camp, build something as extensive as that at in public glare. Whatever happened to our regulatory bodies? As at the time they were setting
exactly.
up that shop, who went there to check? Now, I'm very sure whoever found this out must have been a blogger. It wasn't our,
Mm-hmm,
it
mm-hmm.
wasn't Nigerian authorities that found this out. So two things come to question: the lackadaisical attitude that our country takes towards certain things, and then the audacity and the effrontery of the Chinese to do that. We can't do that in their country. We can't even do that in Ghana. So again, I know that yes, we allow for people to come in for business reasons, but we have to be strict about our rules. It's too open-ended. That's my
Yeah,
okay.
I think
I
I'm
don't
actually
now.
I'm very glad
Yeah.
that the government is looking into this seriously. I mean, they took up because it was social media rave. People brought up, somebody brought up their notice. I was like, I just got into this supermarket and they are stopping me from going in. And then some other people decided to let's test this out and see if it is real. And they walked into the supermarket, and for sure, even the security didn't allow them to go past the gate. So I'm glad that the government didn't just allow it to like just be social media talk. They looked into it, and I'm happy that something came up. I mean, some things need to be regulated and controlled. People
Some
cannot just
things
be
need
allowed
to
to
be
just do
regulated,
things.
and I'm very sure
Yeah,
that again, this restaurant is not a small place. It's not like a backyard place. It's not you that said it's somewhere along the airport, so it's in full glare.
exactly. Right.
So
Yeah, it's in
what this
supermarkets.
also does is it makes people lose confidence in the government, because now they will get their source of truth from social media. They'll say bloggers are the
Hmm.
ones that are finding out things. The government has no control. So well, Nigerian matter is a big matter.
Well, we just hope, but let's look on the bright side. Actually, I'm happy it was discovered. But like I said, I'm happy that they also looked into it. But they need to do better. Our government needs to do better. Controls.
Yeah,
There
they
should
need
be
to do better.
firm controls on matters, not just.
I, I,
I'm sure somebody knew about it, but looked the other way for a very long
exactly.
time.
I was going to say
Hmm.
that, but I was like, well, we don't know how far this thing will go. But I'm very sure somebody took money and kept mute for this to
Yeah.
have perpetrated
Who
so long.
knows? Hmm.
It's unfortunate. Well, apart from me and Usa just talking. Anybody that
Okay.
viewers, if you want to talk about this, go ahead. The numbers are on the screen. Uh,
Yeah. Our
if you
viewers, we
want
don't
to
want to
start
talk about
saying
this
Chinese
alone.
must go, Not Ghana must go
No,
anymore.
no, no,
Chinese
no.
must
That
go.
is not it. No, nobody is pushing anybody out. We are very
Nobody's pushing
liberal.
it. That's
So
just for
the
jokes.
numbers to
That's just
call.
on the lighter note.
Yes, just like Izo has said, the number to call is on the screen. Please, we would like to hear from you. What are your takes? What is you about all what we have been talking about? Share with us your ideas. Uh, well, we are going to talk about IBIS. So IBIS has made us know that this May, the new month we are going into, is Mental Health Month. And when we relate it to homes, because she really talks, she's talking about homes, family relationship. I mean, what do you think about what she has just said? Did you were able to like
Oh, yeah. So
look
I
into
think
it?
it's very
Mm-hmm.
vital what she talked about. And again, it goes to show what happens in saner climes. I like using that term where it's a general outlook to the human nature. So, where we are coming from, mental health is not, I know that I think I've heard it once or twice. People in psychology talking about mental health, but here they
Mm-hmm.
take it very seriously because they know
Mm-hmm.
that everything circulates around how balanced you are mentally. So she talked about home, she talked about children acting out. Sometimes it's not just the immediate that is causing all the backlash or all the squabble. It might be the mental state of the person. Okay, so I remember that back in the day, there were days when I wake up and I'm not, I don't have that zing. I really don't even want to get out of
Mm-hmm.
my bed.
Yeah, sometimes
And
your energy
we
level is
used to,
just
yeah, your
down.
energy level is low. And you wouldn't, you don't have that, will I call it, ability to tell somebody, oh, my energy level is low today. I think not I'm in my A game. People will trivialize it and say, I beg, get up and go. But here they take everything as serious. Your state
Yeah,
at, like
sure.
in my place of work is stated there. They will tell you that if you feel that you are mentally not capable to take on the job, tell your supervisor. They'll tell you to go home. They'll say you're not mentally fit, that you need to maybe take time to rest or whatever. You can't do that elsewhere, actually back where we're coming from. They'll tell you you're looking for an excuse not to come to work. So mental health is very important. It's very vital for the family
Yeah.
structure, for kids, you know, and not just kids in general, as they move from one stage of life to another, from the teenage days to the bigger adolescents, even for the toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's mental health is looked at here. And they make it such that you know that you feel important. Whatever you're saying is important. They don't trivialize and say, nah, that's children's talk. So I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, not. I think all world over, mental health issues have become a big concern. Actually, even back home in Nigeria, in Africa, yeah, they might not have taken it as serious as it used to, as other places before now. But I think the awareness is going out there, and that's why a month has been dedicated to this kind of a thing. Personally, I
Mm-hmm.
think children actually we need to look out for their mental health because they go through a lot, especially
Yeah,
children of immigrants, people moving from a new
absolutely.
country, from their comfort zone to another country. We need to like look out for them because they face a lot of challenges. Parents face challenges, but children also face challenges. There is high rate of suicide attempts, even in Saskatoon.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year
Mm-hmm.
alone, they has surpassed every other year in Saskatoon the records. I don't have that data off my
Oh,
fingertips,
wow.
but I've been listening,
Okay.
following the news, and the rate of suicide attempts by young people has really, really gone up. So it's all based on mental health. People are going through stuff. Maybe bullying. Like there was a story of bullying back in Nigeria too that happened recently.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were young
Mm-hmm.
people, we also experienced bullying. Usually, if you school, if you're in a boarding school, like a residential school, that's what it's called. Maybe that's what some people might
Mm-hmm.
know things like that as. We call it a boarding school where you stay a school away from home, or you have to live
Mm-hmm.
in hostels and all that. And there was this bullying issue, that kind of a thing. It affects people's mental health. Imagine a child
Yeah.
that was bullied back in school. You get home, you feel depressed, and your parents don't even know that you went through such a situation. All they are after is,
Mm-hmm.
have you done your chores? Have you done this? Have you done that? They are just making sure, why are you looking like this? Okay, go and wash your plate, go and do the dishes, go and do that, go and do that. So because but the child is going through a lot, the child is suffering internally, and this
Mm-hmm.
child ends up thinking maybe suicidal thoughts and everything. So it's something people we need to look into. And even when it comes to spouses,
Mm.
just like Ivy said, when it comes to spouses, sometimes you just see your spouse feel looking down, looking low, maybe low energy, is not talking, and instead of you to
Mm-hmm.
be concerned, oh, you're okay, is there something? Are you all right? Maybe instead of you to feel concerned, all you are thinking is, what's wrong with this man? He has started carrying
Mm.
face, or maybe what's wrong with this woman? She has started again. You too, you now carry your face, and everybody is now. And instead of you to show concern, you don't know what is going on inside, internally at that point in time. Person is not maybe going
Yes.
through something at work. Yeah, so we should actually look out for one another. I think that's the
Funny really
message
because
there.
the reference you made about grow I wasn't into the boarding school system. I was a day student, but that did not spare me from bullying. And
Mm-hmm.
this might kind of sound counterproductive, but when you come back home and you are maybe downcast from something you have experienced in school, the way we decompress was by doing home chores, because you can't even go to your parents and tell them anything. So you go and wash plate, or you go and cut grass. You go and find a way to cool yourself down. And for me, in my school days, comedy or clowning was my defense mechanism. So I learned how
Mm.
to make people laugh early, so that before my bullies come to me, they're already laughing. So everybody develops some coping mechanism to to be able
Yeah.
to deal with it. But our present day children, they are facing all sorts of bullying. So they have cyber bullying, they have face to face bullying, and
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot they are dealing with. So I totally understand the place of checking on their mental health and making sure that they are okay. For the spouses, again, communication is everything. Nobody has the ability to read one's mind. And especially when you come here, this place is good, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fraught with a lot of challenges, unique kind of challenges. So you see your spouse is downcast. It might have nothing to do with you. It might be that he's been given something in the office, or he's been treated in a way that just makes him second guess why he's here. So again, communication is the answer. If we communicate effectively and everybody is open and true, and then when that doesn't work, seeking external help is very, very important. So that's one thing that
Mm.
people, immigrants, I don't think they are good at, going for what they call that thing,
Therapy.
the Americans coming therapy. Yes, we see it as a sign of weakness. What am I going to go and sit down in the chair and be telling somebody all my life? We are yet to come to that, to see the importance. And then some companies have it as uh, part of the package they give to workers. And I'm almost sure that if we do a statistical analysis, for those companies that have that employee assistance, it's only the non-immigrants that use it. The immigrants, they are like, what am I going to go and do and telling my matters out? So when you try that inside the house and it's not working, you are not achieving the aim, then the next step is to take it a notch higher, go for therapy and talk. Sometimes talking helps. you know One thing with the therapist, they would never tell you, because I've gone for therapy before, because I was curious. I was like, okay, let me go
Mm.
and see if it's like they do it in the movies, where I sit in some lofty sofa and just tell all my stories. But well, there was no sofa, it was just a regular chair. But nonetheless, I found out that just talking about what I was going through, I felt lighter. She
Mm.
didn't tell me, she didn't tell me go and do this, go and do that. She was just listening. And then some parts she would say, can you expatiate on it? And I would expatiate on that. But I found out that by the time I left there, I felt lighter, I felt better. And I felt a bit more clear headed to know, okay, this is the path I want to take. So, viewers, my
Mm.
advice is this: if you try, because first of all, you try and address whatever mental challenges, address it with your parents if you're a child, address it with your spouse if you're married. But if you don't have those support system, scale it a notch higher, go for therapy, and then you would find out
Mm-hmm.
that whatever thing that is depressing you or making you anxious, you find a pathway to it. So that's my view.
Honestly, Iso, you are on point. Personally, I've not gone to see a therapist before, even though I think I need to because there's so I need some offloading to do,
There's no
right?
sofa,
Yeah.
no fancy
Okay.
chair. I can just tell you that for sure.
No, I might look for a therapist with a very nice sofa so that I'll
The
just be in
fancy
la la
chair.
land while I'm sharing. But let me share is personal. Like my first son was going through some issues. He was like, he needed to talk or to express himself. And sometimes kids feel, I don't want to talk to my parents about it. I don't want to tell my
Mhm.
parents anything. They might not understand because we have high expectations, as parents. And there are some things children will share with us. We'll find ourselves just like pushing it to the background. So he felt he didn't want to, it was something he didn't want to talk to me or his father about. And he kept asking he needs to talk to a therapist. And I made an arrangement for one for him. I told him, okay, fine.
Mhm.
If you don't feel comfortable telling me about it, I'll just be glad you share with somebody. I mean, express yourself and
Mhm.
talk to somebody.
Mhm.
So I spoke to a therapist and arranged. Till today, I don't know what he told the therapist. Even though I was curious, but he's of age, he's 18. So it's difficult for me to like, what did you tell
Yeah.
the therapist? Or like, I
Uh-huh.
could ask him, but until he's willing to share, yes, I don't want to push him. But
To
I
press. Yeah.
realized that he came back happier. He came back more fulfilled. He came back satisfied. He came back since then. He's never really talked. In fact, I'm the one that tells him, "Do you need to talk to a therapist?" And he'll be like, "Oh no, mom, I'm
Mhm.
good." He's better. He's more bubbly than he was before that
Yeah.
time. That time, maybe there were so many things that were going on in his mind, and he just felt,
Mhm.
as parents will not understand deeply, you know, familiarity or something. And we talked to
Yeah. Or
somebody
you
else.
you
It would
can
have been
be
an
you
advice.
you would
I'm
take
sure it
the
might be,
information through filters.
well, it could have been an advice, same advice I would have given him, maybe as the therapist gave. But sometimes coming from
Mhm.
somebody else have impact
Mhm. Yeah.
what
So
he
that's
I'm,
that's
I'm
uh
happy
that's
that
very
it's
important. Yeah.
better.
Yeah. So again, viewers, we can never downplay the place of therapy. I have gone for therapy and I recommend it. I totally recommend it, especially for
Mhm.
immigrants in a new country facing all the different challenges that come. If your company has it as part of the employee package, utilize it. It's not an extra cost to you. And if maybe you don't have it and you really need to talk to some, I know that actually in our African community, we have churches, we have mosques. You can also explore that, you know, the human. Okay, so I'm going to borrow something from the Bible. The Bible says, in a multitude of counsel, there's safety. So before because I think people that get suicidal, they've come to a point where they told themselves life is no longer worth anything. It takes a lot to kill yourself. It takes a lot because either way, okay, I don't even know what to say now. If you
I
like,
think we have a call. We have a caller.
oh,
Sorry, Rosal, for
is
interrupting
there a
you.
call?
Hello. Okay. Okay. So, Iso, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that it takes a lot to commit suicide, whichever one. Over the weekend, I went somewhere and I was crossing the bridge. You know that bridge that goes over the Saskatoon River. I was on top of it and
Yeah.
I was walking across. And I was with some of my colleagues and I was thinking about it. I just told them in jest that what would it feel like if I jump off the edge? and they were like, "Don't jump off." Oh. But when we got to the office, I was thinking about it. I said, it takes a lot because whilst we were on that elevated bridge, I was scared. So it takes a lot for somebody to say, "I am done. I'm jumping off the ledge." So before they get to that point, many, many things would have happened. So
Happened.
don't suffer in silence. Don't trivialize whatever things you're dealing with. Talk to a
Mm-hmm.
professional, talk to someone, and talk to the right person, because talking is not just the answer. Sometimes you go and talk to the wrong person, and instead of it to improve your mental health, it makes it worse. So talk to the
Mm-hmm.
right people, which are professionals. And then if you are somebody of faith, talk to your pastor, talk to your imam, talk to somebody that you know that when you are done talking with the person, you will feel better. So that's my view about mental health and all the things that come with it.
Okay. Yeah, awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you, Izo. Viewers, I hope you are really getting the vibe. We are happy you are listening in. We are happy you're watching. Please, we also want you to call. The number to call is 306 993 3477. So you can call in anytime and we will take your calls. Okay, now I want to share something very exciting that is happening, right? Like I said in the beginning of the show, we are in springtime and we are moving on to summer. And when it comes to summer, there are lots of events, a lot of nice activities that will be going on, that are taking place. And we have two major ones coming up in the next 2 weeks. One of them is Pastor Kingsley and Mildred Okonkwo will be having a seminar. They are having a seminar called Love, Dating, and Marriage. These are the love, dating, and marriage gurus. They go around the world teaching people on relationship. So this program is taking place in Saskatoon, May 11, 2024. We are looking forward to you being there. You can buy your tickets online. Register. The poster is on the screen. Please click in. Make sure you register because this couple, they are vibrant. They have a lot to share. They have a lot to say, and you have a lot to learn when you connect to them. So
Mhm.
this program is going to be awesome. Izor, we need to be there. It's May 11, just
Yeah.
this next week Saturday. You've heard about the show, I
Yeah.
know. What is it? What do
Oh
you?
yeah, I
Okay,
have. I have
Pastor
both
Kingsley.
pastors. I have deep respect for
Hmm.
them. I actually watch some of their videos on YouTube. I like the way they break it down to the nitty-gritty of
Hmm.
what is required in marriage and everyday living. And then they use their own personal stories to kind of buttress their points. And it's usually very relatable, and Pastor Kingsley himself is very funny. So I know it's going to be a great time for couples to learn a lot about
Yeah.
marriage and how to improve their relationship. So I'm excited about it.
If you are in Saskatoon, make it a date. I was at their program last year. They held one in Regina. It was awesome. I traveled all the way to Regina. It was in May
Oh,
the
that's
same
awesome.
time last year. So it
Mhm.
was awesome. I enjoyed it. It was really, mind blowing. You learn a lot of things. Relationships are healed because you get to understand different things. Yeah. So if you're in Saskatoon, please keep it a date. Don't miss this program. And on the comedy side, there is another great comedy coming up. That is MC and comedian Kenny Black is currently on a Canadian tour and he'll be in Saskatoon on the 16th of May. So I told you that as we are moving into summer, there are lots of programs, events that we are encouraging everyone to attend. So Kenny Blanc will be in Saskatoon, 17th of May. So if you are not in Saskatoon, you are going to miss Winnipeg. If you are in Calgary, if you are in all our neighboring cities, Regina, start booking your tickets or filling up your fuels in your car so that you'll be in Saskatoon on the 17th of May because you're going to laugh, you're going to have fun,
Mhm.
you're going to like this comedian is really, really funny. He is I mean, let's laugh off our sorrows, laugh off our stress. Abizo, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because this is a joke that I can relate with. So my kids are always cracking. I used to call it Canadian joke because there's no other way to explain. My son will come to me, say, "Mommy, I have a joke," and I'm like, "Okay, go ahead."
Okay.
And then he would say, "What did the cat say to the door?" And I'm like, "If I have to figure it out, then it's a joke. It's a puzzle." But that's the kind of joke we
Mm-hmm.
find here. They'll say, "Oh, what did the horse say to the hay?" I was like, "Come and see
Mm-hmm.
me, you see trouble." I'm supposed to laugh when you are done. I'm not supposed to start cracking my brain. So, the way I know comedy is what Kenny Black is bringing, where they just talk, it's
It's
funny,
very
you laugh,
relatable.
it's relatable. I don't want to know what the horse said to the hay. I don't want to know what the cat said to the dog. I just want to laugh. So I'm
Oh
really
my God.
grateful that they are
You are
coming to
a
give
funny
us the kind
person.
of to come. No, it happens, and then so again, sorry, but most of the time when they are in the car, they do this a lot. My son and my daughter. Then when they say it and I
Mhm.
don't know it, they will now say, let's say, let me use, I don't even know if they've ever said this, but what did the horse say to the hay? And I'll say, I don't know.
Mhm.
They said the horse said, horse hay. Get it? Get it? I said, get what? Am I supposed to be figuring it out?
You
Not
belong to
a joke
old school, my
anymore.
friend.
That's what I'm
My
saying. I
sister
know
is
that.
a joke.
And then they will be laughing.
But
And that's if you tell a joke and you are the one laughing, then you didn't tell the joke. I should be the one laughing. So
well,
it's good that we have this person
yeah,
coming to give us
exactly,
comedy the
right?
way we know it. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. So make it a date, May 17, and hopefully next week we'll have this people show the melting pot. So thank you, viewers. We are happy that you were able to stay tuned. I would like to ask Izor, do you have any last words for our viewers?
Last words. This is spring. Spring has sprung, as they say. So here on is balling, 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 balling. Go out, be brave, be bold, take risk, succeed in all you do. Life is for the living.
Yeah, I was waiting for that word, live or leave it. I'm going to follow on that. My last words and my last take for my people, life is for the live, don't dull. Take it out a day at a time and make sure you enjoy this summer because winter. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy your work. Have a great time. And this is from me saying to you, bye bye.
Bye.